You've come back to Bellewood. The lanterns are lit, and the fire's glow spills across the tavern floor. Sit closer now. Let the hearth tell you a story.
The fire burns low tonight and the tavern is quiet, save for the creak of a chair and the hush of the wind against the shutters. Sit closer to the flames. Here, take this blanket. And let me tell you a story the old fishermen whisper when the nights grow long and the mists rolled in from the sea. They say if you stand on the Bellewood cliffs at dusk, you'll see it. A single lantern glowing on the rocks far below, where no hand is seen to light it. Some call it a warning light. Others say it's a woman's soul, waiting still for the man she lost to the waves. But I'll tell you the story as it was told to me. Timothy Seaver came to Bellewood in the early days of autumn, a man with too many miles behind him and too much silence in his heart. The road into the village was steep and lined with crooked stone walls. Salt hung in the air, mingling with the scent of smoke from the chimneys that dotted the hillside. He led his tired horse down the cobblestone lane until the warm glow of lanterns spilled from a weathered wooden sign. Bellewood Tavern and Inn. Inside, the room smelled of tallow candles and cider. The fire roared in the hearth, though few lingered near it. Only a couple of fishermen bent over mugs and an old woman knitting by the window. "Room for the night?" Timothy asked the innkeeper. The man nodded, handing him a key. "2 flights up. Keep your window shut tight. The sea winds will take your breath otherwise." Timothy climbed the stairs and found his room small but warm. From his window, the village sprawled below like a child's toy set. Tiny red clapboard houses, narrow lanes, and beyond them, the sea. That was when he saw it. A faint glow out on the rocks, a lantern. No path seemed to lead there, and no figure was visible. Who would light a lamp on the shoreline at this hour? He murmured. The innkeeper only shook his head when asked. "Best you don't ask, sir. It's a Bellewood thing. Folks let it be." But Timothy had always been a man who could not leave mysteries alone. The next evening, he took a lantern and set out on foot. The path was steep and treacherous, littered with loose stones and slick with moss. The wind carried the scent of salt and wet leaves. He heard gulls crying above and the rhythmic crash of waves against rock. At the edge of the cliffs, he paused. There she was, a figure cloaked in black, standing motionless on the rocks below. Her own lantern glowing faintly against the mist. Timothy called out, "Miss, are you lost?" The wind whipped his words away. He climbed down, boots slipping on wet stone. As he drew closer, she turned slightly, enough for him to see pale skin, the curve of a cheek and eyes that seemed almost translucent in the dim light. In the nights that followed, Timothy returned to the cliffs. Each time, she was there. They spoke little at first, of tides and storms, of the lighthouse keeper who vanished long ago, of Bellewood and its peculiarities. "The sea doesn't forgive easily," she murmured one evening, her hand brushing the cold iron handle of her lantern. "Nor do hearts," Timothy replied. She tilted her head. "Your heart? What did the sea take from you?" He hesitated. "Everything I thought I was." The wind carried the tang of salt and the faint scent of lavender from her cloak. "Perhaps," she said quietly, "it's waiting to give something back." Timothy wanted to ask her name, but each time he tried, the words caught in his throat, as if speaking it aloud would shatter her into mist. On the seventh night, a storm rolled in. Timothy stood in the tavern staring at the hearth as rain lashed the windows. The innkeeper shook his head. "Leave the shore be tonight. No good can come of it." But Timothy could not stay. He took 2 lanterns this time and walked out into the gale. The path was slick and treacherous, but he made his way down, heart pounding. There she stood, her lantern barely flickering in the wind. "You came," she said softly. "I couldn't stay away." "Then perhaps it's you." The storm roared around them, waves crashing higher on the rocks. Timothy held out the second lantern. "If you are a ghost, let me light your way home. And if you are not, let me walk you home." The woman turned fully for the first time, Her eyes, pale as sea glass, seemed to hold both sorrow and hope. It has been so long since anyone walked me anywhere. Together they stepped into the mist. And in the tavern above the cliffs, the old innkeeper swore he saw 2 lanterns glowing out on the rocks that night. Then, none at all. He was never seen again. Some say they were both spirits, meeting at last. Others say Timothy returned from the shore changed and never spoke of that night again. But if you look from the cliffs on certain nights, you may still see it. A faint glow where the sea meets the sky. Perhaps she is still there, lighting the horizon.